Yeah, good morning, y'all. How y'all doing? Hope everybody had a wonderful night. A little excited right now. A little excited right now. Going to see that Godzilla today, the new Godzilla Kong. So, it's been a minute since I've been to the movie, but I think that's epic enough for me to go out my way instead of just waiting for it to hit Disney or one of these other platforms. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm W.O. White III. I'll be your facilitator, your guide through the flux continuum. Let's see how we do that. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. So I've been playing with the What's Not app, y'all, for everybody on today. What's up? What's up? Good morning, good morning, good morning. Been playing with the What's Not app. And I think I was able to tag some stuff to the show. It'd be nice and you'll give me a shout out and let me know if that's happening. I do have something that I would like to put out today, but first let me just run through the initial good mornings, the initial talking about the sponsor and the whole nine. Um, and any updates, notes or whatever else, right? Get that out the way so we can get into the story. Okay, so for everybody here, if you didn't know, I'll be going to Atlanta on April 24th through 26th through 28th. I'm thinking about my reservations. So April 26th through 28th, we'll be at the Atlanta Urban NerdCon. And it's to premiere new themes. Not necessarily. They don't always have to be new, but that's how it was sold to me. They told me, they say, hey, it's something new, and we putting it out, and we'll make sure you make it. So the people that did that was Miss Alexis McCrae and Mr. Wasenki Baminde from Miss McCrae, she does mental illness, right, for the veterans. And we do have a large veteran population here in El Paso, Texas. We got one of the largest military installations here, Fort Bliss. So we got a lot of veterans that retire near, maybe like within at least like 2 hours to the base. So we do have a large VA. And she's here to help those guys, navigate from military to, to acclimate back to regular society. And Mr. Baminde, he's the chief abundance consultant, right? To me, he's a debt doctor, right? He teaches you more instead of consolidating your loans, small investments that don't hurt the family, under $10, and they have great returns, stuff like that. Just some of the things he discussed with me. But anyway, y'all, that's me paying the bills, you're right, and I'm letting you guys know where I'll be at. We will, if they do have a nice Wi-Fi there, network, then we will stream from there, and we'll do the show from there, and you guys will get to see what's going on there, right? I mean, hey, just trying to get you guys involved into the flux content. A reason to at least be more than just interested, but to like invest in it. You know what I mean? Like learn the story, learn where we're going with it, how the Lords of Chaos will deal with the Lords of Order. It's a lot going on. It's a lot going on. All right. So anyway, that's where I'm gonna be at. Just wanted you guys to know. All right. So we can get off that now. Because again, I get more excited about the story. Okay, y'all. I love the story and I think it's awesome. So today, turn that off. Today we'll be talking about Cancer. How y'all doing out there? This the zodiac sign Cancer, right? This is your defender of the Cancer realm. All right. Um, there's a civilization that the dominant civilization is insectums. Sorry, y'all, but that's what it is. That's how the story came. In Cancer, when I looked at the actual not the sign, but the animal or the representative, whatever that it was, right? It looked like a crab to me. So that crab like became like the if you think about it, in the water, okay, it's a crab, but on land it's a giant insect, right? I mean, it's got the extra chitin. I think that's what you call it, because the ones we have here they're lighter, but underwater, I guess they would need more chitin to survive. The hard shell, but that's what I saw. So I was like, hey, um, since the cancer orb didn't come here, and you're gonna find out today what transpired when we first opened the story with Dr. Afanasi Sidorov, right? The Capricorn guy, right? He got hit with an orb. He was up in space. Remember, he opened the spatial rift, and when the probe came back through, something slammed in the back of it. That's what we'll be getting into today. Okay, just wanted to let you guys know. I tend to do that. I call myself not necessarily jumping around, but I want to intrigue you with this piece, get you invested in that, and then we go back and because remember we're only on page 39 right now, and this goes to like 140 pages. So we got a while to go. We got a while to go. So anyway, I've set the tone right now. All right, we're gonna really get into it. But what I normally do, all right, I'm gonna put my jingle on, and then I'll actually play the video clip for you guys. Okay, and you'll get to hear from by the narrator Andrew Burgos. Shout out Mr. Burgos. He's the one who narrated the books 1 and 2 for me. Right? Some people got that voice, some people don't. You got to have discipline to sit in a small space at a mic with poise and all of that. And I can do it, I guess, but nah, it's not my forte. It's not my forte. I'm an author, right? I get excited. I dream. I come up with little notes and stuff to make the story better. That's what I'm into. So anyway, y'all. Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome. I know I got started. Um, so if I hadn't said welcome to you all, welcome. If you just got here, welcome. How you doing? Jonathan Bell's money. That's the first person I've seen that actually put. No, it's not the first person, but today it is. How you doing, Jonathan Bell's money? That's on What's Not. So I'm gonna put this video clip on for you guys to see, okay, and then we can get into um, things are starting to mold into place. So tomorrow we'll do W.O. White the third, and I think I'm gonna go into. Yes, because that's an extremely short video. So we're gonna do that video, and we're gonna do one of the Alpha Guardians. This is starting to bring the story all together. Okay, so you can start understanding. I know I say Zodiac Guardians, but they have to get there, right? So this is an introduction right now while we go through so many pages in the front of the book, right? To get there, so you guys will start understand. You got like 12 different characters. What I'm attempting to get everybody to do is follow your character or your defender, the defender that defends your zodiac sign. So if you can do that, I believe that you can stay in tune because there's a lot going on. You have to be able to track it. Okay, so that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. W.O. White and Nexa. Okay, so we're going to get into Glurt today. Glurt, you know what? I'm gonna let the video speak for itself. I like Glurt, and I know you guys see him. He's got the 4 arms because insects have 6 limbs, right? Right. But I actually canceled. Believe me, I think I gave you guys a lot of love because you were the insect guys. I gave you guys a lot of love, and I even break down your whole society and all types of stuff. Okay, so look, let's get into the jingle. Let's get that out the way. I'll put the video on, and then I'll come back, and then we'll discuss it. All right. And for anybody that just came in, I do have some stuff from the store pinned to the video or to this stream. Anybody outside on the alternate platforms, we do have the books here. You can get all 3 for $55. They'll all be autographed, company stamped, and sealed. And then you'll have you can get each one individually. If you get them from me, they'll still be autographed, stamped, and sealed. Okay, so This is, I have 3 of these. Just so the cancer, right? I'm going through all the stuff we have. I'm pulling it out. I'm getting the store together, or maybe my office, and I'm putting everything out. We do have some things. So I'm thinking these are going to be 19.99, just in case. So basically, it's me and a new author. An artist. OJ. OJ was one of my artists, and he drew the picture. We both signed it. I don't know if you can see the signatures there, but there's also a company seal. Can you guys see that? You can almost see it. The raised seal. Well, anyway, and this is a keepsake, and it's been laminated, right? There is only 3 of these. There are only 3. That's all I have. We won't make any more. Some things that in flux, you get them while they hot, or and they're gone. It's just what it is. I always have to. And remember, we're an extremely small company, so we do a lot of what we call evolving the company, right? So there's certain things that sell, and we just, we attempt to figure out what sells and what doesn't sell. So we only got 3 of these. So, these are keepsakes. Nobody will ever have it again. It's just what it is, okay? All right. So here we go with the jingle. Where's my jingle at? There we go. Here we go with the jingle. Let me turn this off.
DJ KB Money. Yeah. Now this a word of mouth jingle. Look. Cake chop. Zodiac guardian. Yeah. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac guardian. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. Yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac guardian. It's mine, I gotta get mine. I need all the gear with the zodiac signs. Yeah, what's mine? I got to find mine. I need all the gear with the zodiac sign. Capricorns, what's up? You so smart, you know what's up. All my Leos, you so good. Scorpios, that keep it good. All my Aries know you strong. Gemini, can't get it wrong. Aquarius, Pisces, and Taurus, Leos, Virgos, here we go. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac guardian. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, yeah. Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Zodiac guardian. Purchase and donate at flux-zodiac.com. Yeah.
Glurt, Gates of Knowledge, Cancer, Crux Scutum Arm, Unknown Star, PU 43200. Glurt is more evolved than most of the citizens on Cancer. He projects a very aggressive demeanor about himself. All citizens residing on Cancer know of his voraciousness when facing an adversary. After the Great Migration, his manipulation runs deep, ever vigilant when recruiting, demanding loyalty or death. He is a master of navigating the exchange, communication through antenna stimulation, leaking false deceit of the Council's treachery to populations within stasis, and projecting visual stimuli of nutritious essence-rich planets that can sustain Cancer citizens. The citizens began to collectively stand with Glurt and his plan to colonize this strange and new dimension. Glurt solidified a planetary following years ago when he took the road to ascension. He became a legend on Cancer when he volunteered for the Death Crawl, completing the requirements for his discipline and mastering it in less time than most. He also set new global defeat records in physical combat. It became a celebrated day when the infamous Glurt made the journey to the Trilitium mines of Tri-Q3. With his newfound ascension, Glurt is the first council member in the history of cancer with such stature. Immediately after the Great Migration, Glurt propositioned the council to open the gates of knowledge and allow him access to the ceremonial orbs. The orbs contain the power to save cancer's remaining citizens. That power can be used to restore the planet. The council denied the proposition of unlocking the orbs, for they are not to be disturbed. The senior order gave his final judgment. The Chaos Order is tasked with protecting the ceremonial orbs. We are not destined to wield them. This court further overrules terraforming planets in this new dimensional realm. We may be the last planet of insectums. Our people will not be scattered amongst the stars. Glurt continues to be at odds with the Council's decision, and in secrecy has the stasis chambers sabotaged, releasing only the most loyal to his cause. He will be the savior of his world. While the population sleeps, Glurt hunts the contingency team, the only resistance that can stop his plan. He will need to activate the Galaxian armors. Glurt and his forces ambush the contingency team and lay waste to any that will not comply. Shortwave signal disruptions are generated and Glurt has communications scrambled across the exchange. He will soon gain access to the halls of knowledge. While the remaining members of the Chaos Order prepare for stasis, a partial warning of Glurt's deceit is received. With Glurt's forces imminent to attack, permission to open the gates of knowledge is given. A power to build or destroy worlds cannot be allowed to fall into the hands of one consumed by conquest. The council members prepare a vessel capable of securing the ceremonial orbs and delivering them back to the Alpha Cancri star system. The gates of knowledge are opened, and the senior order summons the key. After gaining access to the ceremonial orbs, they are placed in the newly prepared vessel. As the last two orbs cycle into their individual compartments, Glurt's army penetrates the gates of knowledge. When the invaders overtake the guards, the senior order slams the vessel's compartment chamber shut. Another brave member of the council activates the controls, refusing to allow the orbs to fall into Glurt's claws. Before Glurt can give a command to stop the vessel, it blasts off into the upper atmosphere. Glurt's screams of rage echo throughout the halls of knowledge as the orbs begin their journey home. Glurt is so enraged by the senior order's actions that he cleaves his form in half with a single swing. As the senior order lays dead at Glurt's feet, the remaining council members curse him for his actions. In response, Glurt stomps on the remains of the senior order until his form lay in a puddle of unrecognizable organic matter. A brave council member speaks, and Glurt beheads him for his treachery, as an example to the remaining council members of what will happen if they test Glurt's mettle. The council members are now properly motivated by the beheading. Each openly explains that the orbs are forever lost, since only the senior order knew the vessel's pre-programmed coordinates. He was the anchor key for the ceremonial orbs. With him gone, Glurt cannot track the orbs. Glurt bellows in frustration and suddenly halts when a glowing object is located. Glurt knocks him to the floor before he can touch it. One of the ceremonial orbs remains, and Glurt will be its wielder. The council members are gathered before the new army and beheaded for treason. Glurt appoints himself the supreme ruler of the Bakrata nation. This is the beginning of Glurt's new campaign, domination. There is only one choice to make under his command. Trillions will die if his rule is not recognized, for it is absolute. Have things prepared when I return, Glurt demands as he reaches out and embraces the orb. A blinding light engulfs him, and he vanishes from sight.
Okay, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Hey, so, all right, yeah, that's the introduction to, that's not Glurt's initial introduction. He was introduced early in the story. So, again, I'm just going to get into it, okay, y'all? So we're on page 39, right? And Glurt, Gates of Knowledge, Cancer, the Crux of... Now, if you guys are actually tracking the story and you following it, you would know that in the third subchapter, in the third subchapter, we talked about a society known as the innumerable. That's why trillions can die. Cancer is when I think I described cancer, it was more like closer to the size of Jupiter. Okay, so it can have billions and trillions of life forms on that world. So anyway, in the innumerable, we talked about a world called cancer and how it fell into a okay, because of the Reaper. Okay, so we saw Dr. Afanasi Sidorov, right? We're gonna do a quick recap. So we saw what happened to the probe when it came back from the other side of the universe. Then, to give you a scale of how epic the story is, I went from man all the way to the Reaper, the horseman of apocalypse, called the Reaper, right? That's his name, the Reaper. And he watched some individuals or some entities project their will on the physical realm, which is we live in the physical realm, right? Then it's what happened when those entities forced their will on the physical realm. The action happened in cancer. It happened in cancer. So cancer ended up feeling the effects of the actual entities projecting their will on. So what happened to that planet? They destroyed the star, which basically tore a hole in space, and the planet Cancer was sucked in. Now, of course, everybody on the surface died. It was basically stripped of its atmosphere almost. Only those that were subsurface were able to survive anyway. So when the planet, and because the planet it has other things on it, right? And as we go, you'll figure out like, oh, each one of these guys, one of the zodiac guardians, have to go to their constellation and get something. That's why the planet was able to deal with the tear through space. I'll explain that, right? Because these cores, they're, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. Anyway, so Cancer came into this realm. So now Cancer, the planet, vibrates at our frequency. So it's actually, if we flew to Cancer, like I say that if you flew to any of the other constellations, you would have to vibrate at that frequency. But if you flew to Cancer, and that's because of those entities projected their will on the physical realm, which put it immediately destroyed their star, and that's when it tore that star. The planet, got sucked into a wormhole basically, and it began to vibrate at a different frequency, which happens to be ours. So Cancer is already here in our realm now, according to the story so far. So that all of that happened in the innumerable. Now, then we start talking about the effects of what happened when the probe was destroyed and all of this shrapnel and this debris fell across the planet. Come to find out, there were things in the debris, like the orbs, and each one shot out. And I guess they went and located. And I'll tell why one day, how they got, how they were chosen. But for right now, each one that was chosen, the orbs went to them. Okay, now we're getting to the part where I don't know if you guys have like been like actually focused, but I talk about the gifts of power ceremony. That's what's happening right now. And I also tell y'all, I said this is the Earthlings or the Earth-based heroes origin story. So now we're getting to Glurt. Glurt is getting ready to become his new person. So Glurt is a part of the gifts of power ceremony. So technically he's a mortal, but he ended up with the power that his planet or his constellation was supposed to get. He's the only one, so he's a lot more powerful than the rest of them. I will put that out. Okay, so now we got to Glurt. Now, after the planet started vibrating at frequency PU 432-00, that's our frequency, right? Because in this reality, we resonate at 432 ohms. Yeah. That's real. That's our vibrational frequency. So now that they're here, Glurt is saying, hey, he's petitioning to the council, right? Everybody already knows Glurt is kind of like a legend. So if we look at planet Earth, all right, I don't want y'all to spaz out on me, okay? If we took a look at planet Earth, we have some people across the planet that are amazing. I'm just gonna throw this name out there, okay? So The Rock. I believe that people around the planet knows who The Rock is. And he's known for his stature, his build, the bald head, the Brahma bull, all of that, right? That's how Blurt is on his world. All right, so he's already known. Like he's a no nonsense guy. He'll put you down. Like we know Mike Tyson. I think people across, yeah, because he was even in one of the Ip Man movies. So Mike Tyson is known around the world. So people with certain stature, that's kind of how Blurt is. Okay, so all Galaxians aren't known across the planet. They just don't. They just not made of sterner stuff. But Glurt is. Okay, so Glurt decides to well, he had already did certain things because again, he was all. Remember, I said that he made it through class faster than most people. He moved through the ranks kind of fast. He just a little bit more intelligent than or was willing to try new things, and get rid of old traditions. So Glurt was I guess a futurist, if you will. Anyway, he had already got his whole crew and everything together. Okay. And there's this thing that I talk about. It's called the exchange. Okay. The exchange would be basically how the insects speak to each other without moving their mouths. So if Glurt talks to us, he moves his mouth. If he talks to other insectums, they do it with the antennae. And that form of communication is called the exchange. That's what I'm calling the exchange. It's how they all can share they can all communicate with each other across great distances. Because again, just the way a cricket can rub its leg and it can communicate with um another bug or whatever, or they got these high-pitched sounds that we probably as humans can't hear. It's kind of like that. So they have a way to communicate without nobody else understanding what's going on unless you insect like. So that network is called the exchange, and you're gonna hear a lot about the exchange. So you got to know what the exchange is from this point forward, right? So anyway, Glurt already got his people together, what he wants to do. Now, when I refer to the Great Migration is during the innumerable when cancer was ripped from its own reality, its own dimension into our dimension. So that's why okay. So the book is for people about 13, okay? That's why I say approximately 13 and up so you can enjoy the story and I don't have to keep jumping back and forth. That's what the Great Migration is. But that's what the citizens of Cancer consider the traversing from one dimension to another. They consider it the Great Migration. And they kind of believe in survival of the fittest. If you notice, I've kind of put that behind Glurt, how survival of the fittest. Everybody wants the medal, but everybody can't wear the medal. They can't go through it. They don't have the discipline. So the Great Migration, that's just what they refer, cancer falling into our dimension, okay? But anyway, Glurt being a part of the council already knows about some of the things that are in the vault, the treasures, right? Or what we consider treasures. And there is this one treasure. Well, it's more like a tree. So yeah, it'll be like a tree with apples on it, right? But it's not. It's just saying that's kind of how I visioned it. Something with the orbs hanging from it. There are 8 orbs hanging from it, and those orbs basically each one controls like a law of physics. So each one of the constellations. Yeah, I'm saying that wrong. Correction. There should be 9. There should be 9. I got to remember gravity. So there are 9 orbs hanging off this, whatever, this vase-like tree thing, right? And those, each one controls one of the laws of physics. So if you look at the characters and what they do, we got Aquarius handling like gases, right? Because it's more than just water or ice. It's the gases. So any gases that are like it can be in vapor form or that can go from solid liquids and gases. Right. He can control those. But he has another gas he uses that's from Aquarius, right? The Aquarius rim called efflumium. And efflumium allows him to do so much more with the gases when it comes to bonding and whatnot. That's kind of what I mean like that, right? So each one of these orbs has one of the abilities to do certain things. And Glurt is petitioning the council like, hey, we need to utilize these orbs to fix our planet. And they're not trying to hear it. It's just what it is. They're not trying to hear it. Now, the senior order always has the last word. And the senior order says, hey, because he's synced with what needs to happen and what doesn't need to happen. So he knows that, hey, we're not supposed to utilize it. We're just the protectors. Like, and then you're going to learn more of the story probably around book 3 or 4. And you'll start learning by, oh, okay, that's probably why the senior order said that. Right. So right now, it's just that he knows that, hey, we're not supposed to do this. Glurt's not trying to hear it. He's like, hey, man, we got right there what we need to do. It'll be like us, y'all. If we could just move a mountain and it's all this fresh water in there and we all dying of thirst, we're like, hey, man, just move the mountain. We're like, no, we can't move the mountain. We can't. Man, if you don't get on out the way, man. So that's kind of how Glurt is. He's not trying to hear it. So he's like, man, forget it. First thing we're going to do, we're going to hunt their security team. I call it a contingency team. So because cancer has the ability, and insects do, right? They can hibernate, right? So everybody goes into stasis and they leave something called a contingency team to protect the people while they sleep, right? You never know what, you'll learn even more later down the road why they have a contingency team. That's why I love Flux, man. It's hard for me not to tell y'all where we going with all of this. It's crazy, right? So, anyway, and remember, Glurt is a Galaxian. So all he does is have to turn on the Galaxian suit, and then he can like basically tear the core out of planet. Now he's not that strong, but what he has around him is called NZ, and NZ is a kinetic dampening metal. That metal though can be used or turned up kind of so it can project a field, and that field is what disrupts kinetic flow. So we will find out even more. But that's just the Galaxian's armor. So that's what he has on right now. So they go and they find a contingency team, they wipe them out, and then Glurt does, now that he has nobody else that can fight against what he wants, he goes to the council. They're still woke. They haven't gone into hibernation yet, into the stasis. So he immediately lets them know. And even before he goes, if y'all notice, I kept saying something about the exchange, right? He basically, so when we watch TV, right, we basically out whatever we have on this side can interpret the signal. But what if all you was getting was snow, right? So that's what he did. He scrambled it so that the few people that the council members knew that were awake, they couldn't access them. Basically, he jammed them. And then he goes to them and he said, hey, like I said before, give up the orbs. And, they basically tell him no. Hey, we're not giving up the orbs because, again, the senior order. Now, the kind of why I did this, I made Glurt younger. Because, again, I look at how life is going in our world, right? The younger people are more spontaneous and they ready to make something happen than I guess maybe we did. Maybe we thought it through more or whatever, right? And maybe what the repercussions was. But sometimes it's like, hey, this needs to happen, and they make it happen. So that's kind of how Glurt feels, right? To save the people. And it's still trillions of people that were submerged underground that's on the cancer. So he just wants to save those individuals, right? Remember, they out of water and everything, right? The atmosphere got stripped. So water becomes toxic and stagnant. You know what I mean? So anyway, long story short, he wipes the council out. Basically, yeah, he technically wipes out the senior order. He's so mad that when they break in, the senior order is already prepared, and what he does is he has this like a little rocket ship, and he puts the orbs, or that the orbs are cycling. That's kind of how I looked at it, because you can't touch the orb, right? Once you touch the orb, what happens? It basically transports you somewhere, right? And your body is flooded by light. So they know they can't touch him, so they have to cycle into place. That's why I put that in there. So while they cycle into place, Glurt and his boys, they boom, they bum rush and everything, right? So once they bum rush, the senior ordered them to, hey, get the button, hit the button, fire. So the missile takes off. Or let's say that the rocket ship takes off into the air. Glurt attacks the senior order, gets beat up, the whole nine. He stomps them, right? He's so angry because he feels like he took away from us what we needed. And one of the other guys finds the orb, but he knocks him out the way, and he knows it, so he makes sure he picks it up. But he picks it up with something. I hope that was understood. He picks it up like in its housing thing, and basically, long story short, he kills the rest of the council. They put him to rest. He lets his army know what we're going to be doing. They know who to wake up and whatnot. But in space, I've already told you this part in the beginning of the story. Dr. Afanasy Sidorov opened a spatial rift to what he believed was the other side of the universe. That spatial rift was end up being in the Cancer constellation. He didn't know where it was going. He just knew how to open up the rift. They'll learn how to target and all that later. So he put it somewhere where he thought, hey, we can open a rift here, and just to scan, this is what we decide. So by the fates or by luck or by destiny, that's what happened. And then when the orb came back to Earth, that's what rammed into the back of the orb and destroyed the probe, and and basically spread orbs all across the Earth, right? I mean, in the Earth's atmosphere, because they were all up in space. So when all that debris started raining down on the Earth, the orbs took off and did whatever they did. And we already know because we've been through all the characters so far, right? We right now, these characters are all going through the Gifts of Power ceremony. Everybody who's been hit by an orb so far. The rest of the Zodiac Guardians, we're going to meet them. They're considered Alpha Guardians. They're already doing hero stuff, if that's what you want to call it, okay? They're already doing what they're doing. This is not their origin story. I give it to you, kind of it, but it's not technically their origin story. So, okay, so now that we know Glurt is basically getting ready to become Gravtate. The picture you see, remember, we only got 3 of those, okay? We only got 3 of those. I'm going to definitely put them out there. I'm just going to have to somehow find time. This is your Zodiac Guardian, Cancer. He is the Lord of Cancer. And he's a Lord because you already heard that if you fight against what Glurt wants, he'll kill trillions in his name. It's just how he is, right? He was already ahead of the council, right? Well, let's say he had ambitions that were different from what the council stood for. Let's put it like that. Okay. Well, I guess you guys already know what he can do and everything, because we went through that too. But this is your introduction, Cancer, to your dimensional guardian. He's a lord. It's his way of the highway, y'all. It's just what it is. That's what it is. All right. So now that we've done that, all right, what I normally do, I'm here for anybody who want to ask questions. The only thing is I can only see whatnot. So if anybody on Whatnot got any questions about GravTag or anything we've discussed so far, I'll be sitting here for like another 3 to 5 minutes. Then I'll probably put the video back on, let you guys, anybody who just came in, get a chance to hear the video. Yeah, so far, y'all, that's what we're doing. Tomorrow, the good thing is tomorrow is Saturday, so we will definitely, tomorrow will be W.L. White III. So I do have a guy, well, with my name, crazy, right? With my name, and he's a reporter, right? So yeah, basically, W.L. White III. This is his rendition, if you would, kind of like through my eyes, though. I report the stuff that's going on as a reporter in their world, and I keep you guys with a constant flow of what's going on. So that's kind of what W.O. White does. And he gets to meet everybody and everything, but we'll get to that. But because W.O. White is so short, right? He's almost like a quick intermission to keep you updated on everything that has happened so far. So your mind, because again, I know I write unorthodox. I write a little different. I got 12 main characters in my head, 13 because Gemini is 2. So I have 13 main characters. And some people tend to wrap everything around one, and I needed something bigger because each one of these characters can go on and do their own thing. Now that the origin story, basically, we're in the middle of the origin story. So each one of these guys can go off and do their own thing now. And we're going to do Nexa tomorrow. So Nexa would be the first Alpha Guardian. This is her, Defender of Virgo. Okay. So she will actually do W.O. White and her. Those are the two we'll do tomorrow. Okay? No questions? Still no questions, okay? All right, so look, it's 10:45. I'm gonna go ahead and put the video back on because again, I love what it is that I do. I truly do. I love what it is that I do. I enjoy it. Hopefully you guys continue to share, subscribe, the notifications, the like, the follows, all of those terminologies that alter the algorithm. And hey, I'm willing to organically make what happen. I'm willing to put the work in with y'all. I'm willing to go through this whole books 1 and 2 and 3, because I'm not telling you everything, okay? The first two books are more of a lure, if you will. I can't believe I just said that out loud, but that's what my mind is. It's more like to whet your taste buds, right? To get you into like, okay, this is what's going on, and then to show you that the story is bigger than what I'm getting ready to do with it, with the initial meeting and all of that. So, I want you guys to make sure y'all keep sharing because there are some great things that happen. For all the people who did get here slightly late, I'll be going to the NerdCon this week. Well, April 26, 27, and 28. I'll be at the NerdCon in Atlanta. Hopefully, if their Wi-Fi network is strong enough, believe it or not, I will stream from there to let you guys see it. I'm willing to travel. Remember, I'm in El Paso, Texas. And I'm willing to travel to spread the word. Like I said, y'all, I'm willing to put the work in. I'm willing to grow organically. You guys let me know, what you like. If you want me to go on a little bit longer, give you more, in depth about it. So, it's y'all calling. But I just feel like, hey, my job is to come out and feed it to the public, get you guys interested, show you the artwork, and get you guys to commit. I love it. I love it though. So this is my blood, sweat, and tears. If you didn't know, I don't want to keep bringing it up every time I get on, but I was going through my near-death experience, and it caused my world to change. From I guess being an employee to being disabled, if you will. That's what they say anyway. And my mind still works, but this is what I came up with, and the story it's ongoing. I'm on book 5 now. Okay, So I got some stuff pinned to it. All right, to the stream. You guys take a look at it. I'm gonna go ahead and put this clip back on real quick and let you enjoy yourself.
GLERT, Gates of Knowledge, Cancer, Crux Scutum Arm, Unknown Star, PU 43200. GLERT is more evolved than most of the citizens on Cancer. He projects a very aggressive demeanor about himself. All citizens residing on Cancer know of his voraciousness when facing an adversary. After the Great Migration, his manipulation runs deep, ever vigilant when recruiting, demanding loyalty or death. He is a master of navigating the exchange, communication through antenna simulation, leaking false deceit of the Council's treachery to populations within stasis, and projecting visual stimuli of nutritious essence-rich planets that can sustain Cancer citizens. The citizens began to collectively stand with GLERT and his plan to colonize this strange and new dimension. GLERT solidified a planetary following years ago when he took the road to ascension. He became a legend on Cancer when he volunteered for the death crawl, completing the requirements for his discipline and mastering it in less time than most. He also set new global defeat records in physical combat. It became a celebrated day when the infamous GLERT made the journey to the Trilitium mines of Tri-Q3. With his newfound ascension, GLERT is the first council member in the history of Cancer with such stature. Immediately after the Great Migration, GLERT propositioned the council to open the gates of knowledge and allow him access to the ceremonial orbs. The orbs contain the power to save Cancer's remaining citizens. That power can be used to restore the planet. The council denied the proposition of unlocking the orbs, for they are not to be disturbed. The senior order gave his final judgment. The Chaos Order is tasked with protecting the ceremonial orbs. We are not destined to wield them. This court further overrules terraforming planets in this new dimensional realm. We may be the last planet of insectums. Our people will not be scattered amongst the stars. GLERT continues to be at odds with the Council's decision, and in secrecy has the stasis chambers sabotaged, releasing only the most loyal to his cause. He will be the savior of his world. While the population sleeps, GLERT hunts the contingency team, the only resistance that can stop his plan. He will need to activate the Galaxian armors. GLERT and his forces ambush the contingency team and lay waste to any that will not comply. Shortwave signal disruptions are generated and GLERT has communications scrambled across the exchange. He will soon gain access to the halls of knowledge. While the remaining members of the Chaos Order prepare for stasis, a partial warning of GLERT's deceit is received. With GLERT's forces imminent to attack, permission to open the gates of knowledge is given. A power to build or destroy worlds cannot be allowed to fall into the hands of one consumed by conquest. The council members prepare a vessel capable of securing the ceremonial orbs and delivering them back to the Alpha Cancri star system. The gates of knowledge are opened, and the senior order summons the key. After gaining access to the ceremonial orbs, they are placed in the newly prepared vessel. As the last two orbs cycle into their individual compartments, GLERT's army penetrates the gates of knowledge. When the invaders overtake the guards, the senior order slams the vessel's compartment chamber shut. Another brave member of the council activates the controls, refusing to allow the orbs to fall into GLERT's claws. Before GLERT can give a command to stop the vessel, it blasts off into the upper atmosphere. GLERT's screams of rage echo throughout the halls of knowledge as the orbs begin their journey home. GLERT is so enraged by the senior order's actions that he cleaves his form in half with a single swing. As the senior order lays dead at GLERT's feet, the remaining council members curse him for his actions. In response, GLERT stomps on the remains of the senior order until his form lay in a puddle of unrecognizable organic matter. A brave council member speaks, and GLERT beheads him for his treachery, as an example to the remaining council members of what will happen if they test GLERT's mettle. The council members are now properly motivated by the beheading. Each openly explains that the orbs are forever lost, since only the senior order knew the vessel's pre-programmed coordinates. He was the anchor key for the ceremonial orbs. With him gone, GLERT cannot track the orbs. GLERT bellows in frustration and suddenly halts when a glowing object is located. Glurt knocks him to the floor before he can touch it. One of the ceremonial orbs remains, and Glurt will be its wielder. The council members are gathered before the new army and beheaded for treason. Glurt appoints himself the supreme ruler of the Bakrata nation. This is the beginning of Glurt's new campaign, domination. There is only one choice to make under his command. Trillions will die if his rule is not recognized, for it is absolute. Have things prepared when I return, Glurt demands as he reaches out and embraces the orb. A blinding light engulfs him, and he vanishes from sight.
All right, y'all. I'm back. I'm back again. Right. Yeah. So there are little things I put in. I try to be character specific, if you will. So with Glurt, you notice that they say that he's the new supreme. That means that what's it say? Something about a new Glurt appoints himself the Lord. It says supreme ruler, but that's the God ruler, the Lord ruler. That's why he's the Lord of Cancer now. So you will hear his people refer to him as Supreme Gravtate when he gets back. Okay, so Lord Gravtate, you feel what I mean? That's kind of like character specific. There's also things that can be shared during the Gifts of Power ceremony, and I will hit on that so you can you start putting it together, right? And then once you go put the characters together, the Nanotech armor, all of these things start going, oh, okay, I get it. And these are the avatars to the Lords of Order, okay? These are the avatars to the Lords of Order, because technically beings of such entities and all of that, they are no longer supposed to transgress against the physical realm. So that's why we don't have the superstitious and all that. The superstitious, we still have superstition. We don't have the supernatural here anymore, right? All of that's been washed away. Now, what I can say is, if you partially supernatural, but you're partially still human, then maybe some of the residue or the residual powers or magics or whatever could still be here on the planet. I'm just gonna throw that out there just to be on the safe side, okay? Yeah, that could happen. So, but other than that, y'all, I did want everybody to know, I got my ticket. I'm going to the matinee today. I'm going to see Godzilla and Kong. I think it's going to be a great blockbuster. I'm glad that we didn't skim out this summer, because every summer we supposed to have something big, right? It's almost like it rejuvenates the sci-fi community. Get back out there and let's do it, right? Let's grind harder. Let's elevate, right? Let's upgrade everything, right? Let's make it new, right? Let's tell a story different, whatever. But yeah. So it's been a couple of years we didn't have some blockbusters. So I'm glad we're getting back to normal. Yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. I don't really like the whole people, you know what I mean? Unless we really gonna continue, but it's hard for me, and I might keep saying this until we catch up, okay? It's hard for me to know what's going on and not speak on it. That's hard. I mean, I wanna like what they call it, regurgitate of the mouth or something like that. I forgot the term, but I'm almost there. I just want to, because the story is amazing to me. But again, you have to give it in small, bite-sized pieces, I guess, something like that. Small enough pieces so people can absorb it, and that's why we're going through, so you guys can get used to how I deliver. Because remember, I'm 75% and up. I'm thinking like, hey, everything. A quick introduction. These are some things that happen along, during this introduction, and we get into it, right? We got 12 books to do. All right, y'all. Thank everybody for coming. Thank you for sharing. If you sharing, thank you for following. The notification, the likes, all of that, right? Thank you for doing it. Please share. If you're not, give me a shot and share, right? And watch we do some amazing stuff. So other than what I'm doing today, I will be prepared tomorrow to give you your first, I guess, your first time hearing W.L. White the third in the book, in the story, and we're gonna do one of the Alpha Guardians tomorrow, right? Because W.L. White, he's a reporter. His sub chapter is small. So I want, if you guys can come out, then the least I can do is give you something worth, you know what I'm saying, worth coming out for, some substance. All right, y'all. So again, here we go. I'm about to get up out of here. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate the love. And have a wonderful weekend. For everybody coming back tomorrow, prepare yourself. We starting to go celestial tomorrow. Prepare yourself. And we out.